Good early morning, everybody. It's February 20th, 2025, and I'm going to read a testimony. It's in several emails over the period of about a month, so I'll be jumping around a little bit because at first she was not certain that she wanted to share it, and then I received an email today that, given everything that's going on, she did want to share it in case anything ever happened to her. So here we go. This is a female. She writes on February 6th, I'm in New England. It's been heavy on my heart to reach out to you. I too am a single woman. I bought my home in 2022. I'm in a secluded area, besides the psychopaths living across the way from me. Ever since I moved in 2022, I have been under close observation. My town is a little rural town with under 1,400 people living here. It seems like they all know one another. In May of 2022, I had some very dangerous women befriend me, severely love bombed. I didn't know that they were witches until one of them slipped up and told me she worships Lucifer. When I started to back away, their friends started stalking me. I even ended up in court against one of the cult leaders, and I won. But the courts are in on this. I had to be my own attorney. It has been awful. The Freemasons upped their game by not only following me, but breaking into my home over and over when I would leave. Law enforcement has been involved in my stalking as well. I almost had an accident October 2023 due to my brakes failing me. It has been complete hell. The neighborhood watch is in on this. They've made it very obvious. Last summer, I tried to move, but they started vandalizing my home and my vehicles. Well, does that sound familiar? Then hitting the trees in my backyard with dews. I made a very big mistake by going to the police. The stalking got so much worse. I was hoping we could talk at some point. I'm very interested in uniting in some way. The female targeted community as well as the men need to band together, but I realize that is not happening, and it's weakened us. It made us very vulnerable. Let me know if you would like to talk. Feel free to reach out to Holly and David to ask about me. I'm not a perp. They know my story. I didn't realize how textbook I am for this stalking. She says, I'm a single woman living on my own, rurally, isolated from my friends and family. Right now, a winter storm is actively underway. Most likely, I will lose my electricity, but it is what it is. I'm as ready as I can be. Trying to document all of this, gang stalking is coming out. People are starting to realize these alphabet agencies are not our friends, and law enforcement are all the Pied Pipers. The so-called quote-unquote war on terror was always against we the people. And then she says, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So this was her first reaching out to me. I said, thank you for reaching out. What you're describing is real estate mobbing by the cults of Freemasonry and their Eastern Star witches. This has been going on for me since 2009. I said that they hate women. They hate independent women who own real estate. And I said, my favorite Bureau of Instigation is all in on it with the Infragard, the Masons, the neighbors. They're all in on it. It's their lucrative human trafficking side hustle. And yes, we need to form groups. I would like to form a group of women who are being real estate mobbed and file a complaint about this. I want the terminology and the crime of real estate mobbing a common word. So then she responds, good morning, Lorraine. My birth name is blank. I'm not going to say her name yet because I'm going to have to go back to the last email that she sent to me and how she wants her name utilized. So she says, my birth name is this, but it never really fit me, so I adopted the name this when I was 23 and it has stuck. I'm now 53. I used to joke with people that I will pick up my birth name again when I'm 82 because it would be more appropriate. It's a very old-fashioned name. I've been debating whether or not to reach out to you. Then I thought, if I don't, I'm a hypocrite. Who can we trust? I'm not too fond of using the word gang stalking. to describe what is happening to me. They have purposely weaponized that word against us. Basically, we are being trafficked and stalked by psychopathic puppets that want us to unalive ourselves. It seems they're all on a short leash. I'm sorry that this has been happening to you, and for 13 years, that's horrific. How have you managed? I have been overtly stalked since May 2024, when I won a court case against a Luciferian witch. I was going to be interviewed by David, but each time I was prepared, the ones that are trafficking me did something to intimidate me. I agree. Alphabet agencies, neighborhood watch, law enforcement, it's really very surreal. I can't wrap my head around the fact that all of us are being trafficked by our own infiltrated governments. It seems so many of us are scared to being up to the fact that no one is coming to save us. No politician, and that really is the sad part. We are becoming our own worst enemies because we're afraid to speak our mind with each other for fear of judgment and alienation. We need to get off the conference calls as well as Fedbook. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, maybe it's Facebook. Oh, Fedbook. Very good. Very cute. There are too many mentally ill, fake agents of chaos out there posing as TIs, and they're dangerous. What are your ideas regarding forming a group? We would need to be very careful and be vigilant using discernment. I've met some very seedy male TIs looking to exploit me for money and a place to live. When I didn't allow it, I was smeared severely by them. It's actually happened 3 times, and it was awful. I'm very interested in being part of a group you're forming. Count me in, and let me know what your comfort zone is regarding talking. I'm not fleeting, flighty, or flaky. You have been in correspondence with a friend of mine, and she mentions the name. He's a Navy vet who's been tortured for 10 years in this diabolical program. I spoke to my attorney, who's been an attorney since 1971, and she has never heard of real estate mobbing. I look forward to talking to you. Unfortunately, realistically, time is running out to take action. Sincerely. And I agree that although I think that speaking up is not going to be a problem, I think with the new administration, at least we can get a message out there. Whether or not they're going to do anything, it's questionable, but you never know. Let's see. Let me just scroll up now. Okay, here's the other one. Hi, Lorraine. Yes, I would like to do that, but I need to get through some obstacles that have purposely been put in my way. It's about telling her testimony. Hopefully, I haven't said too much already to scare you off. We are both in such a messed up situation, being trafficked by psychopaths. I'll get myself better acquainted with your podcast, and I'll tune in tomorrow. I know that last year I mentioned to Holly and David that I would do an interview. But as you know, we are all monitored, so the psychopaths can sabotage us in real time. It's actually much worse than that. I know you have a lot on your plate right now with trying to sell your house. I remain under the impression that telling our story can help other people, but I do wonder if it's just too late. Please let me know when you're looking for another female trafficked individual to join a group that you're starting, so we can at least attempt to help one another with the knowledge and wisdom that comes from being a targeted, persecuted person. By the way, I don't know how friendly you are with... Okay, I'm gonna just... This is the part that I'm gonna have to stop. Thank you for sharing a testimony. Let's see. Oh, I just clicked on something that made my screen disappear. Where'd this come from? Google Marketplace? I don't know. Google Marketplace just came up. Let's see. Let's get up to the next one here. Good morning, Lorraine. I cannot imagine this done for almost 15 years. It's too bad you cannot write a book about this because I'm sure you're an expert by now, especially with your education, interest, expertise, and understanding of the methods of their madness. One of the biggest mistakes I fell into is going to the state police when I started being gang stalked. Then came the breaks. Then the vandalism. Oh, I guess break-ins. Then the vandalism, nonstop. Can I ask you what you think the best course of action is for an isolated female on her own? I'm just going to answer that. I think the best thing to do is to not associate with your neighbors at all. You know, if you encounter somebody, you can smile and say hello, and that's it. Don't engage in conversation. Don't share any of your personal information. And, you know, that's it. That's all I can say about that. I wish I knew a lot of what I know now 10 years ago. I would have made different decisions and maybe choices, and I might have I would have definitely made different choices. Now she says, I will be going to court March 3rd, 2025. And then she writes in parentheses 33. I think they have something planned. It won't just be about breaking into my house while I'm at court. It's for a driving violation while they were following me in my truck. I'm curious if you think they are crazy enough to make me some kind of a sick ritual on that day. Are they trying to make us martyrs? I would never hurt or harm anyone. I've decided not to hide the fact that I'm that she speaks out against these injustices. I feel more comfortable writing down my testimony more so than actually getting my face on camera and being interviewed. None of us should be going through this. It's a shame that TIs did not unite 5 years ago. Excellent information in your last video. Well, thank you so much. And you know, the unfortunate thing is that this program, the infiltrators, the groups, the conference calls and stuff are all designed to separate us, break us up, with a lack of sleep, sleep deprivation, and planting seeds of doubt. It's so difficult to get together with people. And with regard to talking on the phone, I don't mind talking on the phone. I just don't have time. I spent probably, I'm going to say, an hour and a half today of my time just on the Jessica being Baker acted situation, and I'm not finished yet. I was supposed to write to her attorney, and I haven't had time. I'm tired. I've got other things to do. I need to zone out sometimes to take care of my animals. So let me see. I think the best course of action is forming small groups of like-minded people. Just because we're all targeted doesn't mean we're all going to get along or we have the same issues. I would like to get a small group of women together who own homes that are experiencing this real estate mobbing. That would be important to me, because it's happened to so many people. It happened to me in New Jersey and here, and it is total asset stripping. It's very, very different than living in an apartment and paying rent. So let's see. I've got a whole bunch of other emails from her. Some of them are just, back and forth stuff, but let me just see. Okay, let me just scroll up because these are just little tidbits back and forth. And I'll get to the last two up here. So I hope everybody's doing well this evening. Okay, so here, she says, I hope this email finds you well. Would there be any way for us to team up as female TIs that are being gang stalked to bring more validity and support to one another? As you know, I decided to become speaking out against the Department of Homeland Security in 2010 after recovering from, she had a cancer treatment. Can you imagine? They doubted their own targeting when I came back from surgery and chemo. Barely had any hair on my head because I guess they wanted to take advantage of my weakened state. As you might remember, I started being overtly targeted by these women that were into the occult. They loved bomb me and weaseled their way into my life. I got them out, but it's been hell ever since. I've had the real estate mobbing too, along with them chipping away at my finances. I hear people in this community say, quote, I wish a person would come forward and be a whistleblower with the DHS. She says, was myself. I've been paying for it ever since. I have an attorney. It doesn't make sense that we doesn't it make sense that we talk to each other in real life and come toward to support one another off social media as well? And of course, not financially, but actual support. I would look forward to hearing your take. I know you're really going through I know you are really going through it as well. You've been in this battle a lot longer than I. Please do not feel rushed to respond. I missed your chat last Saturday. I was actually on the phone, and she mentions her friend's name. And then there's one last mail that I received today. She says, Hi Lorraine. If you feel as though my story may help others, I trust that you have enough information to put out my testimony. Even though I would never harm anyone and never harm myself, this may be the year they unalive me because the targeting has ramped up. With all that being said, feel free. If you decide to bring up my testimony and prefer to say that I wanted to make sure that I was on the right side of history, and you can just put my name as Grace. Okay, so she's going to use her name as Grace, and she wants to put out this testimony. She wants to let people know that she's on the right side of history. So I look forward to questions and comments down below, and I'm going to sign off for now. And thank you so much for sharing your testimony. And as always, if you want to share more in the future, we can do a part 2. Signing off for now.